What's up? What it do, cyber world? It is your girl, the one and only, Ash Brown. And this is the Ash Brown Uncensored Show. On this particular program, darling, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you got to stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about. All right, so I'm going to go into something that I have covered previously, but I had a question this week and it made me reflect on this particular topic. And the topic is not being a burden on other people, versus, people that don't mind being a burden, do not mind it whatsoever. And I'll go back and share about the pandemic, which is something that affected the entire world at the same time, which is crazy. I don't know when something so big has just affected so many people at once, but pandemic did it. Yeah. So during the pandemic, I was furloughed from my airline, and I decided to move back to Georgia. And so when I did that, I had someone in my life that I was in communication with, I was trying to bond with, essentially. And this was an ex. This was one of my crazy exes. And I say crazy because, obviously I've got to be a little bit off because I chose this person. But whatever. So, as we didn't know much about COVID was running rampant. We didn't know who was affected. We didn't know how they were going to be affected. We didn't know survival rates. You're seeing like trailers full of bodies in New York, and you're hearing all these crazy things. And imagine, I was a flight attendant, so I was around hundreds of thousands of people. And definitely picked up COVID at one point. I picked up COVID in 2019, September 2019. That's when I was based in Las Vegas, and I got it. And they told me that I was crazy. They gave me some antibiotics. It didn't work. It was a whole, just a terrible experience. Would never wish it on anyone. And so when my thought process was to come back to Georgia, I was like, I need to be in a controlled environment. And I definitely want to make sure that I'm being safe as far as my family is concerned. My father is elderly. He at the time was in his 60s. And that was at that point one of the most at-risk ages for people at risk for COVID and complications to COVID. So for me, my number one was like, you know what? I need to make sure that he is okay. He is safe. He's in a good environment. And I don't want to bring anything around anyone who may be immunocompromised, meaning someone who is elderly, or my baby sister who is immunocompromised with all of her complications. Can't be just hanging around her, So when I had the opportunity to move somewhere in Georgia that was nowhere near my family, but it was going to be more of a controlled environment, and it was in my price range, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Well, this ex, trying to be oh so slick in so many ways, but not slick at all, basically scoffed at my idea to move where I was going to move. And was like, well, that's what, family's for. If you can't lean on family, then why have them, type of stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make logical sense. Because it's not family's responsibility that you eat. It's not family's responsibility that you have a roof over your head. It's not family's responsibility that you get your stuff together. That's not their responsibility. You as a person, you as an adult, have to figure that out. So we got into this heated debate, and he was basically saying that I was dumb for not moving in with my dad. Well, for him, both of his parents had gone on to glory. And his situation was different because he had his kids. And in some strange manner of the world, thought that I was going to move into his house with him and his children. Ain't no way, y'all. Ain't no way. Who's going to sign up for that? Who? Let me know. I'm waiting. I hear crickets. Are those crickets in the background? Because no sane person would sign up for that situation there. No, I would absolutely not do that. Not in this life. Nope. I'll go live in a shelter first and foremost. So to say that, oh, well, you should just go lean on your family, blah, blah, blah. Because people like that don't mind being a burden. I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking about somebody. People with that mindset, they don't mind being a burden on other people, much less family members. Those are the type to guilt you into a situation. Those are the types. And that's just not in my DNA. It's just not who I am as a person. That's not what I'm about. And I was not going to change my frame of mind because he said that I should. Some people are so hell-bent on being the leader in the situation, being the one with the good idea, right? Because sometimes people share things with you, not for you to come up with a resolution. They're just sharing it to vent. Hear me now. They're sharing it to vent. I'm the type of person, I don't look for answers through people. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm about. If you're in my orbit and you're in my circle and I share things with you, it's because I trust you enough to share these things with you. I'm not looking for you to have an answer for me. I'm not looking for you to give me any kind of advice or advise me on anything. I'm sharing it with you because you're part of my tribe. And up until that point, he was a part of the tribe. Were there signs that this person was unstable? Absolutely. But I gave them the benefit of the doubt because I wanted to believe that they were better than what they were. They were not. They were not. Because they never took into consideration my elderly father, my other siblings that were and were not immunocompromised, but just not accessible to me. And then I wouldn't, on this face of the planet, move in with someone with children. Absolutely not. I am a whole adult woman. I don't have any kids, purposely. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't, oh my gosh, it's something that happened. No, I purposely did not have children. So for you to say that I am going to move in with you and your kids, you are smoking on some kind of illegal substance, sir. You have to be. That is the only way that I could see that happening, is you're on some illegal substance and you need to stop. You need to stop. So for me, I always take the extra consideration for other people because I don't want people out there saying, oh, well, Ash did this and Ash did that. And, she took advantage of this and she took advantage of that. No. There have been times when I've had nothing but money for gas in my tank. And I walk out onto red carpets looking like $1 million. And nobody was any the wiser. None. Because it wasn't their business. It was not their business to know that about my life. And I don't put out my information like that because it's not for public consumption. I don't need people judging it. It's nobody's business. I'm not asking you for any money. So why Why so heavy in my pockets? Why so heavy in my life? It's crazy how people put themselves in your situation. Like, imagine you're sharing about your next life's journey with someone that you trust and respect, and they scoff at your ideas. They tell you your idea is stupid, and then they don't have a resolution for you. Yeah, that's bad, but this would be better if you did this. No. Some people just want to hear themselves speak. They don't even have any logic behind their speech, y'all. They just want to speak, and they want to say words, and they want to push those words out there. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Like, they expect you to just continue sipping the Kool-Aid and, everything's good. Everything's not good. What's wrong with you? Everything is not good. But I just go to say, it's like, just be aware. If you feel as though you may be a burden on someone, you probably are. You more than likely are. So just be considerate of other people. There's so many people on this planet that are just so self-absorbed. It's really quite disturbing. It is quite disturbing how many people are all about themselves. Not surprising, but quite disturbing. Quite disturbing. Yeah, well, that's my little 2 cents for the day. Just wanted to get that out into the open because it was on my mind. I was talking with somebody on a similar situation, and it's just crazy how people will sit up there and judge you for your situation because you don't live with Alice in Wonderland. You don't think in the same way that they think, so you must be wrong. Imagine. Just imagine. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a great, fantabulous, purposeful, prosperous week ahead. And I will holler at y'all later. Deuces.